Works the dummy. Oh, and he's through. He's got Aitchison inside him. Now then, Bothick is quick. He's too quick for Castleford. And that's a magnificent try.
To hit the big time playing rugby league, New Zealanders have always had to leave home, to head overseas to where the competition is toughest, but the rewards are greatest. In the Winfield Cup, some of the best known names are Kiwis. The country's best players have flown these shores, taken up residence in a foreign land, away from family and friends. Now the call has gone out, come home. Hoki mai ngā toa ki tō whenua. Action, colour, pace. It's all part of the excitement of Winfield Cup competition. And it's here at the Sydney Football Stadium that the two top teams clash in the grand final. For young Kiwi Rugby League players, it's always been the ultimate dream. Now we have a Winfield Cup team based in Auckland, a team that gives players a chance to achieve that dream and to reach the very top of professional football without leaving home. Auckland City, and a new dawn for sport in New Zealand. For the first time, a New Zealand-based team is to play in Australia's Winfield Cup. It's taken 6 years of planning, 6 years of a dream to become a reality. But a team needs players, and the net was cast far and wide to get the best, including those who travelled far afield to play their sport.
Now, for years we've seen our Kiwi League players, the top players, go across the ditch to either Australia or in turn catch another plane and go on to England to have to play. And we now represent the extension or the career path ladder or the rung in the career path ladder that didn't exist. We've now created it. And they can now stay home and do it.
We've recruited probably 20 of the best young players in the country. They're sitting in behind the 20 good pros that we've got, and they're learning off the pros. They're looking at their work habits. They're looking at how they present themselves at training. They'll be watching them play, but they're always rubbing shoulders with those good guys. And after the first couple of seasons, well, I expect a lot of the 20 will be still here and they will become our senior players.
The Tupu. Jones spots the opening. Here he goes, the halfback. The kick and chase is on. Jones against Coley. He'll get the bounce. Jones was taken out of it. I would give a penalty try for that. Stacey Jones. Yeah, good work.
Stacey Jones is regarded as one of the country's rising young stars of rugby league. At only 17 and still a schoolboy, he captained the junior Kiwi side to Australia last year. He was targeted by several Australian Winfield Cup sides, but signed for the Warriors, wanting to play his league on home soil. Stacey finished his schooling last year, sitting bursary, and so had to combine study with his new commitments to the Warriors. This year he continues his studies with a course in sports medicine. 19 in May, Stacey is realistic about his future with the Warriors. Greg Alexander has his hold on the halfback position. Stacey knows he has to bide his time.
Hopefully in a couple of years' time I'd like to be playing first grade, like I'm only 18, hopefully by about 20, 21 maybe, I'd see myself playing first grade. If I'm injury free and performing well.
So another set of 6-4, the county's Manukau heroes at Whanutawa. Has a go, there it is. Hyptro Okasini. Well, it's like handball at the moment. Malitoa Brown, the young man straightens it up, finds the opening. It came out of nothing. Gus Malitoa Brown.
It's most people's idea of the successful league player. Flash car, big money. But looks are deceiving. Teammates with Counties Manukau last year, now Hytro Okasine and Gus Malitoa Brown line up together for the Warriors. Hytro's already made his mark internationally, playing for the Kiwis in Papua New Guinea last year, while the Warriors sent Gus to gain some experience with the Brisbane Broncos last season. Counties Manukau were runners-up in the National Championship in '94. Both Hytro and Gus were obvious targets for the Warrior talent scouts. But they're still a long way off the big money earned by the star players. Both have to work to make ends meet. The car's in for a cleaning. Signing a contract with a Winfield Cup side like the Warriors does not mean automatic big money. Only a select few command six-figure salaries. Hytro and Gus will have to earn their way into those ranks. Till then, it's a 9-to-5 job fitted around the Warrior commitments. Both earn under $20,000, but each has his eye on the future. Each knows where he wants to be in the next few years.
Well, my aim for 95 is to make that first grade team and stay there, keep that position.
For guys like me, or the young guys, like in reality, we're just starting off. To sign a contract is good, but from there on, you have to just go around doing the same things you've been doing all your life, and hopefully, if you train hard and train well, and make the first grade.
How many committees of 5 will there be? 6.
Frank Watene is the baby of the Warriors. 18 for just a month. He's a 7th former at Otahuhu College. Frank was pulled from relative obscurity into the Warriors squad. His strength in the forwards for the Otahuhu club and age grade rep sides caught the eye of the Warrior talent scouts.
0.
When I got the call, I was a bit stunned. I didn't know what to think. The first thing I did was talk to my parents about it. Told them, asked them advice. Told them what was going on, what they sort of wanted from me. From there, it went to talking to Ian, and then him defining exactly what was going on, and that it was a contract. And so I didn't sort of get over it till, say, 2 months after I signed it, and it took about 2 months for me to decide as well. And even now, it's a bit difficult to really understand what I'm getting into.
You could train a donkey for 12 months and it'd still never win the Melbourne Cup, even if it was dedicated and had the right attitude. So unless you've got talent in the first place, it's going to be a long, hard struggle. So the players that we recruit have got to be talented players. They've got to be talented rugby league players. And I always like to say I like the players that I recruit to have something that I can't coach. I like them to have extra speed. I like them to have good vision, those sort of things. But so they must be talented in the first place, and then secondly, they've got to be dedicated and they've got to have good attitude.
International sport these days is all about a war zone, a modern day war zone, and only the tough will survive and the tough will succeed. And sure, there will be hiccups along the way, but always remember that great quote that I think I picked up from Dean Bell about the challenge of there is no glory in never not falling. There is greater glory in rising every time you fall. And that's what international sport is all about, and who's prepared to dust themselves off and get back into the fray as quickly as possible.
It's an early morning start in the Malietoa household. 20 this year. Gus has an impressive record playing lead. He excelled from an early age and peaked with a place in the junior Kiwis with a tour to Britain and Australia. Now the Warriors contract offers even better things. But at home, Gus's feet are kept firmly on the ground. Brought up in a proudly traditional Samoan family, those values still hold true.
Gus has been brought up in a very close family, and we've been advising him in so many ways how to grow up and how to respect. I think respect is the most important thing in this family.
So long as Gus maintain the respect that was taught through the family and how we brought him up, through his sport, the whole family in Samoa are very proud of Gus. They can only wish that Gus will continue to do well.
Frank Watane comes from a family with a strong background in rugby league. Mum Trish is a registered coach, and Dad Francis has religiously followed Otahuhu club teams. Frank's career is now heading in the direction they'd always wanted.
Well, you'd like your kids to play at that level and high, of course. Representative honours, national honours.
Yeah.
But when it does come, it is a hell of a surprise. You know, then you start worrying about, can he handle it? Is he?
Is he going to be up to it?
Capable, yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, he's got the best coaches out there, and I think he'll do well. We can't do any more for him. It's up to him. You know?
What things you got to do around home? How have things changed for him at home here? He's still living here, of course.
Oh, yeah, he still goes to school. He just mowed the lawn, so, nothing's changed. The boy's still got to work.
Still got to mow the lawn.
Still got to mow the lawn.
A warrior or no warrior? What about the diet and food and that? Have you actually had words with the Warriors trainers and people like that? Has it gone that?
Well, they were great. They were great. They got a nutritionist in.
Yes.
And spoke to us, told us what they need to eat, which is a lot of carbohydrate. And now he's eating about 6 or 7 times a day, which is really fun. Lots and lots of brown bread and lots and lots of spaghetti. And, it's great feeding somebody 6 times a day. I love it.
I suppose it does.
They don't tell you this when you're pregnant, But no, it's almost gone back to like when they're babies. They eat 6 times a day.
In the Jones family home, rugby league has a proud tradition. Stacey's grandfather, Manga Emery, left Union to become one of the Kiwis' key players in the 60s. Now the family can contemplate a future with another star in their midst, as young Stacey's career takes off with the Warriors. He's always had big ambitions when looking at his future in the game, and the family too wanted him to achieve his goals. But it looked like his desire to make it to the top meant signing for a team overseas. The family can now rest easy that their son can achieve his goal without leaving home.
Well, right from when he was 4, he was always, fairly good. And I think we hoped, and hopefully he felt that way, that one day he was going to either go overseas and make a success of himself. But with the Warriors coming on the scene, he could do it here at home.
We would like to see him go all the way. I mean, he's always wanted to be a Kiwi player. He just went from goal to goal, and now that he's gone into the Warriors, his goal now is to actually hopefully make the top team in a couple of years' time.
Haitro Kasine has already experienced playing pro football overseas. He turned out for Carlisle in Northern England for 3 seasons, but can now settle back to life with family in South Auckland and continue his playing career from home. As with the other families, it's a whole new learning experience. Being a warrior means the regime of exercise and diet has to be strictly followed.
Oh, it's hard. Like the taro and that, he liked taro, but at the moment he's doing a diet to go with his training and all that. So he's eating like lettuce and all that kind of thing that he never used to before.
He's a tryer. Right through his, right from the school boys and all that, you know, he tries a lot. Not like his older brother, he's a talented player, but, you know, he just sort of let it through, and, you know. But Haitro, he's a tryer. He always gives his best.
Most good rugby league's all about good fundamentals, and if you can do the simple things correctly in the game, well, you're never that far off the money at the end of the match. So I coach a lot of fundamentals, and I stress to the players that it's important to do the simple things and do them correctly.
50 players signed for the Warriors. Only 13 will make the first team. The rest will make up the reserves and Colt sides. A store of talent waiting to step up when called. Training is intense, non-stop, 6 days a week. The fitness levels required are higher than any of the young players have experienced before. The man who sets the pace is Bob Lanigan. His relationship with John Mooney goes back a long way. Both worked together in Australia in the Winfield Cup and then teamed up again at Wigan. Both are hoping for the same success they had there.
Push on to the end, get there. That's the important thing, is to get there.
We've worked together. John and I have been together for 10, 12 years, and you know, he knows what the job I've got to do, and obviously he thinks I do it well enough to entrust me with the boys here. So.
But you're the man that's going to kick ass.
Well,
you're the man that's going to kick ass, Bob, day in,
well,
day
I'm not going to be the man that's going to kick ass, because the opposition's going to kick their ass. If they're not in the right shape and in the right frame of mind, the opposition will tear them apart. So I've just got to be hard at times and let them know that, you know, this is a war. We're going to go against these teams in Sydney, and they're going to treat it as a war. They want to beat New Zealand.
He can get hard when he wants to, and when it's time to joke around, you joke around. When it's time to do the work, you got to do it. If you're not doing it properly, he'll get up you and tell you to, you know, put more effort into it.
Go. I want you on this side of the hat. I want you to drop you on this side of the hat. Go round, talk, and up now, up together. Hit the ground. Go! Make sure you get this right. Come on.
Well, the main thing's attitude, because we've got 50 players here that have been hand-picked. They're the best young players in the country, we feel, and they're the best older players in the country. So they've all got ability. So the main thing we stress to everybody is make sure your attitude's good. When you come to training ready to work and ready to learn.
With the Warriors comes a multi-million-dollar business. A former factory just across the road from Mount Smart Stadium was turned into offices. And right next door, the building of the gymnasium went on as early training got underway. In the stadium itself, renovations costing nearly $10 million began to transform the former site of the Commonwealth Games into a football stadium which would meet the demand set by the home of a Winfield Cup team. Hospitality boxes built in the main stand, new seating and terrace spacing gives the stadium a crowd capacity of around 30,000 people.
Welcome, DB Bid Auckland Warriors. Can you hold the line, please?
Behind the players is a team of more than 20, office staff and those looking after the players themselves. It's a huge operation and great demands are placed on the team, both on the pitch and by the general public alike.
Look, I was just wanting to get a couple of the guys down to Christchurch on a promotional trip. How are you placed with plane bookings about midday on Wednesday?
Well, no, I have actually got a full set of headshots available here for you, though.
It's early days. Public expectations are high. New sporting heroes are about to emerge. But Warriors management are all too aware that the bubble could burst at any time.
Okay, bye.
It's easy to follow a team that is winning all the time, but the competition we're going in, you can't win all the time. And we're going to have good weeks and we're going to have bad weeks, and we're going to have some weeks when we beat a top side, and we're going to have other weeks when we get beaten by a bottom side. And all those sort of things are going to happen during the season. And what we need, because we lose 3 or 4 games, doesn't mean to say that I can't coach anymore or the players can't play anymore.
Rugby league player, actor, promotions man. The Warriors find themselves at the centre of a gigantic publicity campaign. Much of the public interest in the build-up of the team is self-generated. But by Winfield Cup time, Warrior management wants that interest at a frenzy. A madly supportive crowd can mean the difference between a loss or a win.
Talking to Ian Robson, he's talking about trying to make this a place where no Australian team wants to come into Auckland and play the Warriors. It's just the place that they dread walking into. So we needed to make the advertising alive, powerful, energetic, to the point where people viewing it and people actually who go to the stadium say, I've got to be part of this.
When it comes to marketing, the team is treated like any product on any market. Clever, catchy, easily remembered slogans are thought up. Slogans that could become part of Kiwi culture.
We'll need to make a decision though about...
But it's the television commercial that's the centre of interest at this planning session. With the stadium half built and a crowd of just a few hundred extras, it's a big ask to create the high-energy frenzy of a Winfield Cup match.
So this shot where they're running through the tunnel, are we going to do any set dressing inside the tunnel? How's that going to look?
What we'll do is wet the walls so that you just get this big sheen.
Because we're only shooting this amount of people, we can set up big loudspeakers, something like that, maybe play music, get them into it.
I'll call out first action. Folks are waving, you're waving the flag. Then I'll go action.
We can have them running out of that tunnel that's already at Mount Spark, but what we can do is shoot the crowd separately and mat them over the tunnel.
The Warriors may be based in Auckland and carry the name of the Queen City, but management are keen for support to come from across the nation. A flying tour of the whole country gives the players the chance to show themselves off to the fans from afar. More demands off the playing field, but it's all part of the job.
It's all happening.
It's also a chance to gauge just how strong national support is.
I think increasingly we're seeing a recognition now that people can be sports fans, and I think with the great interest that's been shown, for example, to try and get Warriors games at Carisbrook, that people are increasingly, if you like, admitting that they can be sports fans first, and then maybe rugby fans or soccer fans or field hockey fans or whatever it is. So I think today we're going to see further proof of that. I'm sure we'll get good support in all of the centres, and despite the fact that we are called the Auckland Warriors, that they're saying, yeah, we can get behind this team.
It's good to see a lot of kids from a fair distance away from Auckland come down and and get autographs and, you know, come support the Warriors.
As a rugby union township and off the league taken off this year, we need as much support as we can get.
Well, it would have only been a year ago since, you know, when I would have been out there asking for autographs of guys like Haitro, and I mean, it takes a bit of getting used to, but you know, you hang around them long enough, you think, oh, this is the way it's done.
I've become more professional attitude in training and off the training circuit as well. They've built us a profile for all the players, a high profile around the country, and wherever you go, people will know you and see what you're doing, take note of what you're doing. So professional bit has to be pretty full-time.
Dreams can come true. It still can happen. That, you know, somebody can be plucked from small town New Zealand to go to the big time, or suburban Auckland to go to the big time. And certainly we hope that all of the players that are with us, whether they last 1 year or 11 years, inspire a whole new generation of children to reconsider rugby league, certainly, but more particularly reconsider sport and its benefits that it can provide in terms of being a better community, and for those who really excel at it, providing a very bona fide and genuine career opportunity.
Continuing the theme of arousing national interest, the first time the Warriors appear in a match, it's in the heart of Ranfurly Shield country, Christchurch. Management are nervous, but the crowds turn out in force to see this new kid on the block. Public expectation is great. The coach is looking to set up his A-team.
As a coach, I try and give my accolades to the players that do all the little things and work hard off the ball, but never really get the recognition from the spectators or from the general public.
One of those players who's caught the coach's eye is Haitro Okasene. It's a nervous wait. First time in a Warriors jersey, but still that intense desire to make the A-team for the Winfield Cup competition. The buzz of the crowd, the pre-match hype. The scene is set. The Warriors have arrived.
The start of a new thing, and we're all there together. It's been the first time we're playing the first game, and very excited.
Haitro's first outing is a storming success. For young Frank Watane, his first outing is with the Colts, and he shows that he'll be ready to move up to the reserve grade when the call comes. Gus Maliatoa-Brown and Stacey Jones turn out for the reserve grade. They're only one step away from the big time, and know that with luck and determination, that step could come at any time.
The injury rate in the Winfield Cup is great. There's a lot of players get hurt in top-class rugby league, and the main thing that we stress to all our younger players is just keep training hard, do the hard work, just hang in there and your chance will come.
While the young signings of the Warriors provide the talent for the future, the early success of the team depends on a group of older pros. Dean Bell is captain. He and coach John Mooney go back to the successful years at Wigan. It's little wonder the former Kiwi captain is set to see out his twilight years in his homeland. With wife Jackie and 2 young children, Dean has settled back into Auckland to see the Warriors through their initiation into the Winfield Cup. It was a big decision for the family, but it's a dream Dean has had all his playing life. A professional league team based in New Zealand and playing in the toughest competition in the world.
I was brought up in that other era where league was looked down upon, really. So I'm glad for the younger players, but I just hope they react in a positive way and realise, you know, how lucky they are, really. Hopefully they don't see what I've got now and think it was easy, because if is there any advice I could give to them, and it would be very simple. You know, it's all about hard work. I'd like to think that whatever I've got out of the game, I've worked really hard for. I wouldn't say I'm the most naturally gifted player around, so I've really had to work hard at bringing out some of the points that I'm good at in rugby league.
For them, they've done all the hard grind. They've made the Kiwi team, Team Bell and all that, and like from them switching over to a club, that's when everything, all the rewards for them come all together. Like they all got a house, car, money, everything. So all their hard work's paid off.
They've been there and done that, and they've earned it. They probably started off, or they would have started off. I mean, I'm probably next to nothing, and they've worked their way up.
Another player who's climbed that hill of success is Sean Hoppy, who stormed to prominence in the Winfield Cup with the Canberra Raiders. But he started out pounding the streets through the industrial area below Mount Wellington as he made his way through Auckland's club scene. Signing for the Warriors now gives Sean the chance to give back to the game some of the knowledge and experience he's gained in the last few years.
I'm actually really rapt to be back here. Like, it's been, it's exciting. There's a big challenge ahead. Not just for myself, but for everyone. You know, this is a whole new dimension coming into this Winfield Cup with a team that hasn't even played together, and everyone's expecting us to, you know, do miracles in the first year. Well, I'm not too worried about that, but it's just the enjoyment of just watching the public. You know, the support. Just it's bigger than anything I've ever seen. They have a thing called the second year syndrome, which is well known in Australia, where a lot of rookies come out the first year and they have just, you know, they play on enthusiasm and they just have a great year. But then the following year, everyone sort of knows what sort of game they play, what sort of pattern, and, you know, and then they can analyse their game every week. And then all of a sudden you start realising, gee, it's not as easy as I thought it was. People are, you know, marking up on me twice as hard, and I'm not making the breaks like I did the year before, scoring the tries, whatever it is. And, you know, that's when it brings you down to earth, and you start thinking, that's when you got to start reassess the whole year and start planning, setting yourself goals, and just getting through every week, week in, week out. And, you know, so that's why we've got to try and make sure our young guys, you know, if we can help them, yeah, definitely just let them know about what they're in for.
At the moment, they're all excited by the challenge. I think we're all on a very exciting journey, but I don't think the reality of week in, week out rugby league is it's probably going to be a shock for the younger players.
It's not the Sydney Football Stadium, it's not a Winfield Cup match, but it's the first time the Warriors have appeared on Australian soil and the first time they've met another Winfield Cup side. It's the Parramatta Stadium. The opposition is the North Sydney Bears. It's crunch time.
Yeah, I'm nervous. It's going to be hard. What I want to establish is that we're a good, tough rugby league team, and even if they beat us, I want to leave a bit of an impression here that if you're going to play the Auckland Warriors, you're in for a tough game.
Hydro's form in the warm-up matches has earned him a place in the starting lineup against the Bears. Prop Andy Platt is out through injury. Hydro is to play in the front row. Interest in the Warriors' first Australian appearance is high, and expat Kiwis now have a whole team to support, new heroes to create.
The first 10, 15 minutes is going to, everything's going to be going at 100 miles an hour. So just have to weather the storm and just settle down and do the job.
Well, you're filling in the big shoes too, mate. Did you expect to be here at this stage in the first, like the first time up against Winfield?
Well, I wasn't expecting to be in the starting lineup, but I was hoping to make the 17 at least. But with Andy out, the opportunity's there and I'll have to improve.
Recent good form too, mate. That must give you a bit of confidence coming into the game.
Yeah, well, it helps me a lot. It helps me to concentrate and focus, and we'll see how we go.
It's really our first chance to get a gauge on the guys. Are we good enough? Are we talented enough? Are we big enough? Are we strong enough? Are we fast enough? So after this match, we'll be able to sit back and say, our intensity wasn't good enough, or it was good enough, and our skill level's not good enough, or our speed's not good enough. But like I said to the players, everybody's watching. They're watching nationally in Australia, and the game goes to New Zealand, so let's put on a good show.
It is a good show. The Warriors lose by only 2 points. The Australian teams know the Warriors have arrived. Hydro shows he's a rising star, but the Winfield Cup competition is a far cry from the Challenge Cup.
We've got to improve on that and get things right for next time. Put in some big hits there, mate. How do they feel? How do they feel? Give you great confidence? Yeah, confidence booster. You would have been happy with your game? Yeah, I was pretty pleased, but still things to work on.
I was really pleased with the performance tonight. Not pleased about losing, I never am, but the players showed plenty of pride in that Warrior jumper.
That pride brought out a win against Winfield Cup champions Canberra the next week. The Warriors were on target for kickoff against the Brisbane Broncos. Friday, March 10. The 6-year wait is over. Warrior headquarters are complete. The builders have gone. So too has Mount Smart Stadium. In its place, a testament to these times of sponsorship. Ericsson Stadium is having a final touch-up for the big night ahead. After months of major alterations, the little things need doing. There's been a lot of hype and expectations are high. But the experts know the realities of Winfield Cup competition.
It's the hardest, fastest body contact sport in the world that they're entering, these guys, so it's very difficult. It's not easy, so I think that they should be given the opportunity, and if things aren't going right, don't jump on their back, give them encouragement.
There's plenty of pre-match encouragement on this day. Hundreds of messages from all over the country. Warrior staff are completing a task begun many years before.
A lot of us are the Johnny-come-lately, so I think that it's times like today that we really need to reflect on the visionaries that had a dream back in 1989, and where does the people now at the coalface helping to make it happen?
For Hydro Okasene, the morning is spent quietly contemplating the task ahead. For he and partner Donna Hayden, pre-match mornings have become a way of life. The couple met during Hydro's time at Carlisle. After only the few lead-up games, Hydro already has a loyal following. He's already reached star status with his rollicking play and hard-hitting defence.
I'm so proud of him, and it's proud of him in the sense that he's got so many supporters out there, and it does him the world of good. It does the team the world of good, that they're behind the team or one of the guys, all of the guys, and Yeah, I'm chuffed a bit for him, eh? And he deserves it. He's worked really hard to get where he has, and I sit there with a big grin on my face, proud as punch.
A major worry for Hydro during the build-up was a recurring ankle injury. Winfield Cup pressure means there's no thought of pulling out of the big game.
Because this game is so important, and and that we're professional now, we have to look after our injuries and be ready to go each week. But no, I wouldn't be playing on it if I was at Manukau. I wouldn't risk it. To any player, it's frustrating. You don't want injuries. That's why at training, if you can look after your body and get fit, you can get you can heal a lot quicker.
As the countdown to the big day continued, football realities took shape.
If you look at the time now, we're 22 minutes into the game.
Squad members had been broken down into 3 teams: Colts, reserves and seniors. Kiwi coach Frank Endicott looks after the reserves. The step up into the seniors is never far away, and all know they could get the call at any time.
We're going to do teamwork. Let's go. Good boys. I would say that 3/4 of this team will play first grade at some stage during the year.
Is there much pressure on them to do well in the reserve grade in the Winfield Cup?
Oh, there's always pressure. I mean, the pressure's part of the rugby league game now. But if you look at the makeup of this side, every player's wore the black and white jersey. I mean, 5 full internationals and the rest have been junior Kiwis. So there's a lot of talent here.
Everything's getting intense now and nerves starting to get in there, but it'll be good. Looking forward to it.
You're sort of doing enough work to sort of head in quite confidently for the first game?
Yeah, I think we are. I think preparation's good and we've got another couple more trainings, so everything should be good.
Any fears?
Nah, not really. Just get out and play.
I know the players are best when they're relaxed and not too uptight, so I've just got to play down the last couple of days and have the players relaxed, and we want to come into this and we want to use up all our energy at kickoff time, not 2 hours or a day before the event.
That's what the fans want as well. The stadium is a sellout, more than 30,000 tickets sold. The crowd begins arriving early enough to catch the reserves match against their Brisbane counterparts. Gus Maliator-Brown finds himself on the subs bench. He hasn't quite made the grade and will have to work harder to impress the coach.
It's pretty disappointing, but this league, if you don't work hard, on the last 2 weeks, even the last 2 weeks before the main game, they can still, you can still find yourself anywhere. So, I thought that I'll be up there, but I think it's a good start to be on the bench, just to feedback on reality and all that, because you can't. You're never certainty.
One certainty is Stacey Jones. His early match form means he has a firm hold on the halfback position. Like the other reserve players, his eyes are set on the senior team. But for the moment, he's concentrating on one thing, and he's not overawed by the big occasion.
It's just another game where you're going to go out and play, a game of football, There's probably going to be a few more people out there, but let's just go out there and play as if it's a normal game.
Stacey Jones plays a blinder and kicks 6 goals in a 36-14 victory. His future seems assured. Gus Maliator-Brown gets off the bench for a short taste of rugby league at this level. It's a taste that sets the appetite for the match ahead.
But in San Francisco, they call this 3-time Super Bowl champion by something else.
As the minutes tick down to 0 hour, John Money's players know the build-up is complete. The pre-match hype is over. The moment of truth has arrived. The coach's message is clear, quiet, but clear.
Everybody's got a job to do. Big boys have got to be strong and they've got to be tough and they've got to advance the ball for us. The halves have got to dictate and use their brains and think a little bit. Centres have got to help us with squaring the play up, getting the ball forward, creating some chances for the people on the outside. We're all in this together, and you know that your mate's going to back you up. So you've got to do whatever you've got to do. You're playing for yourself first, and you're playing for your team. There's been people out there for 30 years waiting for a team to play. We've got just as good a side as they have. We beat the Broncos tonight, we can beat anybody. And the way to beat them is go for broke.
At the end of 1995, if we've battled our way through the bottom 10 teams in the competition and we're somewhere around the halfway mark, you know, being 11, 10, 9 in 9th position or something like that, well, I would feel we've been successful.
I believe they've got the talent available and the expertise coaching-wise available to make the top 8. That's my expectations. I don't know how much further they can go, but I certainly believe that they'll be one of the top 8 teams.
Where they finish is up to them. It's in their hands, and they will remain ultimately accountable and responsible for their own success as a result.
Colts is just a learning experience for me. You know, it's a stepping stone to the reserves for next year, and from there, hopefully, you know, topside in 2 years.
When you look back and just playing club football for your mates, I mean, you've come a long way.
I love to be a role model to the Polynesian kids. You know? I think it's really important that they have a lot of role models to come in and sort of like guide them along their way.
I feel good in that sense that as long as I'm helping someone, you know, being a role model, as long as someone can benefit from it, you know, I'm pretty happy.
This program was made with the help of your broadcasting fee, so you can see more of New Zealand on air.